So on page 3, we skipped this problem just so we could do it today. We know the inside angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So what do we need to do to figure out the measure of angle A?
Subtract 150 degrees.
Yeah, so you added it in your head. We need to figure out how much we already have. We have 20 and 130, which makes 150. So then, yes, we're going to end up subtracting that from 180 to figure out what else is in the triangle. And it will be 30 degrees. 30 degrees. That's it. Go back to page 2. Find this question. This one was harder than that one, so we're kind of progressing. So page 2, we skipped this one. So we're finding the measure of an angle. So again, what do we know about 3 angles in a triangle? They add up to 180. So we're going to add them. We got x plus 37. And x plus 67. And then don't forget about 90. And they add up and equal 180. Combine your like terms. What is 37, 67, and 90?
204. Or no. 194.
194, that's good. And then x and x make 2x equals 180. Subtract 194 from both sides. What is 180 minus 194? Negative 14. So when we divide by 2, x is negative 7, which is okay because we can have a negative x. We want to find the measure of angle A. So we got to plug it in for x. So negative 7 plus 37 is 30 degrees. It's a popular number. Question on this one. Okay, we go to page 5. It's the last one we skipped. So, whenever you see a problem like this, is there any way for us to find this angle right here? We don't. Do we have enough information to figure it out? No. So, that's why we have the exterior angle theorem. This angle, AUT, the angle we want to find, is on the exterior. So we know the exterior is equal to the 2 non-adjacent interior, or when you add the 2 non-adjacent interior, they equal the exterior angle. So which 2 angles, you can give me the letters, which 2 angles are on the inside and they are not adjacent to the outer angle? T and S. So we're going to add them, and then they will equal the outer angle. So 5x plus 10 plus 58. They will equal the exterior, which is 11x plus 2. Combine like terms. We got 10 and 58, which is 68. Equals 11x plus 2. Move the smaller x. (68) equals 6x plus 2. Subtract 2. 66 equals 6x, so then x equals 11. So I still want to find the measure of AUT. AUT is the exterior angle, so we can just plug it in. Plug x in. What is 11 times 11? 121 plus 2, 123 degrees. Good. You're going to flip to the back. We're going to practice the word problems. So, before we do, we'll talk about like what words you'll see. So you might see for more than. I'm going to give you 5 examples of what you'd see. What does for more than mean? What would we do in that case? What mathematical operation? Addition, right? We would say 4 plus or plus 4. It doesn't matter because it's addition. So that one's an easy one. But I'm going to point out for less than. This one is, it does matter the order you write it in. So you might have to think back to your other math classes. Whenever it's for less than, is it 4 minus or minus 4? It is minus 4. It does matter the order that you write it in. So anytime you see less than, the minus sign comes first, and then the number will come second. And then we've seen this in this class. If you see 4 times the other angle, always, what do we use to represent the other angle? We use what? We use x. So 4 times the other angle would look like 4 and then x, because it'd be 4 times the other angle, 4 times x. There's 2 more that you'll see, and you'll see it on the next screen that we're going to write down. 4 times the sum. So 4 times the sum. So a lot of people will just think that sum means addition, but what in specific about addition is the sum? It's the answer to an addition problem. So whenever you see 4 times the sum, it means you would have added first and then multiplied second. So in order to do that, you need the parentheses. So if you ever see 4 times the sum, you'll have parentheses and a plus sign. And then that 4 would be on the outside. And then last is 4 times the difference. And then what does difference mean? Yeah, the answer to a division problem. No, it does not. Sorry, wrong word. The answer to a subtraction problem. So it would be 4 parentheses and a minus. Sorry, I was focusing on making it smaller. So difference means subtraction. A few weeks ago, just a funny story, Miss Dix gave a quiz. She's next door. And it said find the difference. And it was like 4x plus 1 minus 6x plus 2. And like she wrote find the difference, which means subtract. But then the kid was like, the first set of parentheses has a 4, and the second set of parentheses has a 6. And like he wrote like, you know what I mean? But anyways, difference means subtraction, just so we all know. Yeah, so like find the difference means subtract them. Yeah. So find the answer to the subtract, subtract. But he was like, well, the first set of parentheses has a 1, and the second set of parentheses has a 2. I don't know. So anyways. So, this is a lot to write. So, first we'll want to draw a picture. We know we got a right triangle, so we're going to draw a right triangle. And then they'll always describe one of the angles. So, one of the angles is twice the sum of the measure of the other acute angle and 30. So, we're just going to pick an angle for them to have described. It says twice the sum. So first of all, twice means 2. Is it 2 plus, 2 minus, 2 times, 2 divided by? Twice means 2 times. So it's 2 times the sum. So again, a sum is the answer to an addition problem. So it look like this. You don't need the dot there. It'll be 2 times whatever these two are added together to be. The sum, and then what are the 2 things we're adding? 30 and the other acute angle. What do we want to call the other acute angle? x, and then we got 30. So remember, x is the other acute angle. So now we know one of our angles is 2, so twice the sum of the other acute angle and 30. And then what are we going to call the other acute angle in our triangle? X. So now we have 3 angles in a triangle. We're going to add them and set them equal to 180. We got 90. We've got 2 times x plus 30. And we have x. They will add up and equal 180. We're going to distribute. So we got 2x plus 60 plus x equals 180. Combine our like terms. We got 2x and x, which makes 3x. And then we have 90 and 60, which makes 150. I know I ran out of room, but we're still going to subtract 150 on both sides. Going to bring this up here. So if we subtract 150 on both sides, on the left we have 3x. On the right, what is 180 minus 150? 30. So then x is 10. One of our angles was x, so we found one of our acute angles. To find the other, I recommend plugging it in just to make sure you're right. So this angle is twice the sum of the other angle, which is 10 and 30. So what is the sum of the other angle and 30? So 10 plus 30. 40. And then 2 times 40 is 80. Good. And then 10 plus 80 is obviously 90. And then plus the 90-degree angle, that means you have 180 degrees. Questions on this one? All right, and then last, we still have a right triangle. So you got a right angle. Says the measure of one acute angle of a right triangle is 4 times the difference. So this time it'll be parentheses with a minus sign. The answer to a subtraction problem. And then of the other acute angle, which we still are calling x and 6. And then what are we going to call our other acute angle? Yep, x. This one we are going to get a decimal, so you do want your calculator. We'll add up our 3 angles. So we got 90 plus x plus 4 times x minus 6 equals 180. Distribute. 4x minus 24. Combine some like terms. We got x and 4x, which makes 5x. And then we got 90 minus 24, which makes, correct, 66. Subtract 66. We got 5x equals 114. Bring it over here. If 5x equals 114, divide by 5. And x is 22 point what? 0.8. So remember, x was one of our angles, so we just found one of them. Can find the other. by plugging in 4 times 22.8 minus 6. So find the difference first. What is the difference between 22.8 and then minus 6? 16.8. And then times 4. 67.2 degrees. And I know it doesn't look like it, but they do add up. These two add up to 90, and then 90 plus 90 makes 180. You're going to take out the 5.1 classwork, and I'm going to show you how to kind of attack or approach these kinds of questions on page 2. So the worksheet that was handed out yesterday, you'll take it out. These 3 are the last things we do together, and then you're on your own. So, it says in the directions, use your knowledge of linear pairs, vertical angles, and triangles to find the missing angles. So that's exactly what you do, but where do you start? You're going to start where all of the information is, and then you want to move the information towards the question mark. So where is all of the information in A? Is it on the right side, the middle, the left side? It's on the left, right? We got a 20, we've got a 90, and they are inside of a triangle. So we can find this angle to start so that we can keep moving information towards the question mark. So how do I figure out the measure of that angle? Going to add them and then subtract from 180. So 90 and 20 make 110. 180 minus 110 is 70. Good. So we know this angle is 70 degrees. That is the first step. The second, we want to keep moving information towards the question mark. So the question mark is in a triangle of its own. So if we knew this angle, then we'd very easily find the question mark. We can find that angle. It's sitting on a straight line, right, or a straight angle. How many degrees is a straight angle? 180. So how much of the 180 do we already know? One what? We know 70 and 55, right? So what is 70 plus 55? 125. So of the 180 degrees, we have 125. So to find what's missing, you subtract that. So the other angle is 55 degrees. Are we all okay with this? So then from here, this is where I leave you, because now you have a triangle, and you have 2 angles in a triangle. You can find the third angle. We'll move on to B. Where is all of the information for B? The left side again. So you actually have 2 angles inside of a triangle. So it is the same idea. We can find the third angle by adding 84 and 43. They make 127. Subtract that from 180 to figure out what else, what the third angle is going to be. It'll be 53, right? Good talk. All right, so we knew the third angle in our triangle is 53. So how do I keep moving information towards the question mark? What do we see in our picture? We see vertical angles, right? Vertical angles are formed by 2 straight lines. They're located across from each other. And what do we know about the measure of vertical angles? They're congruent. So that means if this angle is 53, across from it is 53. And then again, you have a triangle with 2 angles. You can find the third. C is the last one we will do together. So all of the information for C, or most of it, is on the bottom, right? It's where 54 and 81 is. Those are two angles in a triangle. So we can add them and subtract to figure out the remaining angle. So we got 135 degrees already in the triangle. 180 minus 135 is 45. So we know this top angle is 45 degrees. We want to keep moving information into the other triangle. Does anybody see what would be helpful for us to figure out? The right angle, right? So that means this angle and our 45-degree angle combined make 90 degrees. So of the 90, we have 45. So what does the other angle have to be? 45. And then again, you have two angles in a triangle. You can find the third.